We've been talking a lot about various ways ions move across a membrane. Some of these concepts also apply to plants, but a plant's physiological and ionic requirements are fundamentally different from those of animals. In animal cells, remember, the sodium-potassium pump swaps 3 sodium ions for 2 potassium ions. In animal cells, this is essential because sodium and potassium gradients are the primary way they maintain membrane potential, especially for processes like nerve impulses and muscle contraction. But plant cells use a different strategy. Instead of relying on sodium, plants primarily use proton pumps, sometimes called proton ATPase, in the plasma membrane. These pumps actively export protons out, creating a proton gradient and an electrical potential across the membrane. This gradient serves a similar purpose to the sodium gradient in animals. It powers the uptake of molecules like sugars, amino acids, and ions through secondary active transport systems. In other words, plants use the proton gradient as their main energy currency for membrane transport. In general, sodium is not a major ion used by most plants, as high sodium levels can be toxic. This is why we typically don't water or irrigate plants with salt water. Plants instead depend more on ions such as potassium, calcium, and nitrate. So, how does the proton pump work? Like all pumps, it uses a form of active transport, meaning energy is required, as ATP is broken down into ADP and inorganic phosphate. The released energy drives a conformational change in the pump, allowing it to move protons against their concentration gradient from the cytoplasm to the extracellular space. This outward movement of hydrogen ions creates a gradient with a higher concentration of hydrogen ions on the outside. It also creates an electrical gradient, making the inside of the cell negatively charged. Together, these form the proton motive force, which is then used to power the uptake of nutrients and ions.